Hey everyone. So we recently got some Star Deck 15 and Star Deck 16 reveals, and there is one card in particular that I am very, very interested in, and this is just my opinion, but this is possibly one of the most powerful cards in the starter deck. The card itself isn't that great, but it can lead to a really great combo. And I don't know if other people have noticed, but Lament of Friendship is insanely good. So I'm just in my photo app. I just took a screenshot of the card and its translation from the Digimon Discord. I don't know which Discord. I think it's like the unofficial official Discord. But this is Lament of Friendship. This was a leak. So let me read what it is. It's a purple tamer. Lament of no, not purple option. Lament of Friendship, Star Deck 16, card number 15, rare, 3 cost. So while you have a tamer with Matashita in its name, you may use this card ignoring its color requirements. So the first thing that I thought of when I read that was, okay, Matt is primarily two different colors. Matt is primarily blue and purple, and he also has some dual colored tamers out there that also make him a red tamer. But usually, he's purple and blue. So I think that what this line means is that, okay, this option is designed so then it works also really well in blue decks. So when I thought about that, I thought about the different blue Matt Ashita tamers out there. And okay, so you can use this option in blue decks pretty easily. Other Matt Ashitas aren't really used that much outside of the BT6 blue Matt Ashita. But the next part of this card is where things get really interesting. Main effect, return one Digimon card from trash to your hand. Okay, that's a pretty okay effect. It's not that great, but it can add some consistency to your deck if you are getting Digimon deleted and you want to bring them back so you can go into them again, which is good. Or just if you get a Digimon that you just otherwise want to get from your trash, this is good for that. But it's like an okay effect. But then this is the effect that I think is really, really good. Then one of your Digimon with Garurumon in its name gains on deletion. Play this card without paying its cost until the end of your opponent's turn. Security, activate this card's main effect. So if you are really thinking kind of like along the lines that I thought of when I saw this card is really good for a Garurumon in name that would self-destruct. Like a Garurumon in name that would just delete itself after a certain period, and it would allow the Garurumon in name to come back to the field. So I was looking at this card, I was like, wow, this is really good. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, let's go back to BT4. So in BT4, there was AncientGarurumon. So there was AncientGarurumon in BT4, and this card has, when attacking once per turn, you may unsuspend up to 2 of your Digimon of Garurumon in their names or hybrid in their forms. It's a 12 cost, 13,000 DP, 5 to Digivolve from level 5, level 6 Digimon. So that part of the effect, if you have another Garurumon in name, or if you have a hybrid on your field, then you can unsuspend the other one. But even just when attacking with AncientGarurumon, you are able to unsuspend itself because it has Garurumon in name. It has an on-deletion effect. You may play one blue level 4 or lower Digimon card with hybrid, and it forms from your hand without paying its memory cost. So this card seems pretty benign. It doesn't seem like threatening. It seems okay. And then you look at this promo and then you look at this promo Lobomon. 5 costs, 4000 DP, level 2. It digivolves for 2 off of level 3, and then it's a level 4. So when digivolving, this Digimon can digivolve into an AncientGarurumon in your hand for a memory cost of 1, ignoring its digivolution requirements. If it does, delete this Digimon at the end of the turn. Okay, so if we go back and we look at this card, it has Garurumon in its name. It doesn't have a self-destruct effect on it, so it doesn't innately delete itself after anything. But most likely, if you're playing AncientGarurumon, you're going to include Lobomon in your deck, and Lobomon can warp into AncientGarurumon for 1 memory. But if you do that, then it's going to delete itself at the end of the turn, which seems like a downside. But if you go back and look at this AncientGarurumon, on deletion, you can play a blue level 4 lower Digimon with hybrid in its form to your hand without paying its memory cost. So basically, the on deletion gives you another body on the field. Now, this is why I think the option card from ST16 is very good. So because you are going to play this, you are able to play this in a blue deck pretty easily. You don't even have to run purple if you don't want to. But if you just play a blue deck and then you play blue hybrid and then you play just Matt Ashidas as your blue tamers, then you are able to use Lament of Friendship without needing purple on the field. And if you play Lament of Friendship, then you are able to very easily use this on your AncientGarurumon. So then when it's deleted from Lobomon's warping effect at the end of your turn, then you can resummon the AncientGarurumon. But before you resummon it, while it's still in the trash, you activate the on deletion of the AncientGarurumon, then you play a hybrid from your hand for free. So here is what I'm kind of thinking right now. If you're playing blue hybrid, you're just playing like 12 copies of Strabimon, maybe 10 copies of Strabimon, 4 copies of Pokemon, and then you're playing like 12 copies of level 4 hybrids. You're just basically using so many hybrids that you are basically always going to be able to on deletion play a blue hybrid from your hand, because you are just running so many hybrids that you're basically always having a hybrid in hand. If you just play Strabimons and then you hatch an egg, you digivolve into a rookie and raising, and then let's say turn 1, you play BT1 Matashita, the memory setter. And then turn 2, you start your turn at 3, you bring out your rookie, you digivolve into Lobomon for 2, and then now you're at 1 memory. Lobomon warps into AncientGarurumon, so you're at 0 memory. You attack with AncientGarurumon, and then AncientGarurumon's when attacking effect unsuspends itself, then you attack again. Okay, and then to end your turn, you are then going to play this 3-cost Lament of Friendship. So now you're at 0, you're going to play this. Now it's going to be 3 on your opponent's side. And then end of turn effect. This Digimon will be deleted because it warped from Lobomon. So it's going to delete itself on deletion. You're going to be able to play a body onto the field, like basically a level 3 or level 4. Doesn't really matter because your hand is basically just... You have several hybrids in your hand that you can choose from. And then the Lament of Friendships on deletion kicks in. Since this Digimon was deleted and it's before the end of your opponent's turn, technically it's still your turn, but you know, even if it were going to be deleted up until the end of your opponent's turn, then it's going to come back. So after you play the body for free, then you bring this back to the field. So it's a really explosive combo that you can get really lucky if you high roll. If you just get a rookie in hand on turn 1, and then Matt Ashita on turn 1. And then if you have Lobomon and AncientGarurumon and Lament of Friendship, then you can pull it off as early as turn 2. Now that is saying a lot because you are looking for so many specific cards for the combo, but it is as deadly as a turn 2 kill. Like you can win as early as turn 2 if you high roll and you get the right pieces that you need. And I'm not saying that this is good because you're always going to win on turn 2. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that this combo is so good that you can even find the combo pieces later in the game and still pull off this amazing combo, and you can get the swings that you need. So let me explain a little bit more of what I mean. So let's put these into the deck builder so then you can kind of visualize. So the exact cards that I'm using right now, they're just a bunch of random cards that I'm putting in. But yes, this can be adjusted later for sure. So I'm just putting a bunch of random hybrids in. And again, the exact hybrids that you can use are depending. So it might not be this build exactly. And then let's say I'm playing Matt Ashita's. I will explain everything in a bit. There is no art for Lament of Friendship up right now because it just came out. So to say that I'm using Lament of Friendship, I'll just put this purple mat in as a filler to represent Lament of Friendship for now. And if you want, this is why I'm playing the purple mat. So I'm thinking something like this. So it looks a little bit strange, but let me explain. So if you have 12 rookie hybrids, 12 champion hybrids. So they aren't technically rookies. They aren't technically champions. They're just hybrids. But level 3 hybrids, 12 level 4 hybrids, and you have AncientGarurumon, and you have Pokemon for searching, and then you have the Matt Ashitas, so you can reliably have a Matt Ashita out very early. I think that you can pretty easily get the pieces that you need for the combo. It's going to be very likely that your hand will have several hybrids in it. It's also pretty likely that you can start the game out with Matt Ashita in your hand. So if, you don't have Lament of Friendship in your hand, this purple Matt Ashita is also a good backup for you to use back for Revenge. So Lament of Friendship is good because you don't have to rely on having the purple Matt Ashita out. So you are able to use Lament of Friendship. With your other Matt Ashitas. But if you have... It doesn't have to be purple Matt Ashita. I'm just using this as a purple tamer. But you can use any purple tamer that you want. You can even use... Let's see what purple tamers there are. Like a good purple memory setter. Because that is probably better. That is probably better than this Matashita. Just starting your memory at 3. Yeah, so you can just like use any purple tamer that you want. It doesn't really matter. But it seems easy to high roll a fair amount of times, have a rookie in your opening hand, digivolve onto a digi-egg, and then play a memory setter. Hopefully this is the memory setter that you draw on your first turn. Like, this is what you really want. But if not, then you can, just play a different Matashita. I'm just putting in random Matashitas. I didn't really account for like the other ones, but this is like the ones that you really need, and like your assortment of any different Matashitas out there. But this is golden. And then next turn, Digivolve into Lobomon, the Permo Lobomon for 2, and then go into AncientGarurumon for 1. So then you swing, and then you use Back for Revenge or Lament of Friendship if you are able to use them. This Digimon will be deleted. You play a hybrid, you bring it back. So basically turn 1 you get 2 swings in because it swung, unsuspend, swings again, and then turn, like the next turn, like the second turn of your 2-turn kill. You have the extra hybrid on the field. You have this AncientGarurumon, and then you are able to swing with the hybrid, swing with this, unsuspend both of them, swing with the hybrid, swing with this. So that's 6 checks that you can get for game. So, this is just like a very, very, how do I say this? This is like a very, very bare bones concept of what I'm talking about. But of course, you can adjust the deck to be even better. What I'm thinking about is we have to stop fighting. So if you put this in your deck and then you change your ratios a little bit, and then like after the first turn where you succeed in being able to go up to AncientGarurumon and then get a hybrid out after this is deleted and then bring it back, like as long as you do that, it doesn't matter if it's turn 5 or turn 6 or turn 7 or like, whenever. Like if you are able to do it later on, then that's also good. And then you can just do the 2-turn kill later on. But while after that initial first turn, after you get your 2 security checks in, then the second turn of whatever that is, then you use we have to stop fighting. So your Digimon cannot be deleted in battles for the turn, including security battles. So hybrid attacks, AncientGarurumon attacks, unsuspend both of them, hybrid attacks for the 5th check, and the AncientGarurumon attacks for the 6th or lethal. So that seems pretty good. I'm going to actually experiment. I'm going to make a deck using AncientGarurumon. I'm going to use Lament of Friendship. Lament of Friendship seems very good to me. Technically, you don't have to use Lament of Friendship. You can just play purple tamers and then just play Back for Revenge. But I really like Lament of Friendship because it offers basically a 5th to 8th copy of Back for Revenge. Just getting more Back for Revenge effects makes this idea more consistent than before. And not only that, you don't have to play purple tamers. You can play blue tamers, which, I mean, kind of doesn't work out logically, because if you did not have Lament of Friendship, if you only had Back for Revenge, then you would only play purple tamers. But at least if you play blue tamers, then you can still hybrid on top of them. If you don't have your pieces out, then you can just hybrid as a backup plan. But yes, I think that there is a lot of potential in Lament of Friendship, because you are able to use it while you have a Matashita out, so you can easily use it on AncientGarurumon after you warped from Lobomon. So this will be deleted. It'll delete itself. It'll play a hybrid from your hand. It'll come back, and then after that, then you are able to get 4 swings in next turn. If you run, we have to stop fighting. Near players, Digimon can be deleted in battle for the turn. Then you are really golden. You are very golden if you do not hit any bad security. Alternatively, this is like a safeguard. If you're playing against a deck with high DP Digimon, then just like we have to stop fighting is a great safeguard to keep your hybrid that you played out from AncientGarurumon's effect safe, so you can get the 6 wings from turn 1 and then turn 2. But if you suspect that they have more security options, so instead of we have to stop fighting, you can also just swing with the hybrid that you played out. If that's deleted, then you don't worry about that for now. You swing with AncientGarurumon for the 4th check on suspense. You swing with AncientGarurumon for the 5th check, and then you hybrid for game. So you can also do that. But yes, you can work your way around it and then get 6 checks in on 2 turns with a very, very odd option card to use. So it seems so good to me. I don't know if people are thinking that it's also good, but at least I think it's good. I'm going to definitely make an AncientGarurumon deck with this card. AncientGarurumon is very cheap right now. I'm surprised that it did not spike in price after the starter decks got revealed. But this is just my take. Is it actually good? I'm not sure. This is what I think. I think that it is a really good option to throw into an AncientGarurumon deck. Because if you throw it into an AncientGarurumon deck, then you can just warp from Lobomon. Basically, you have no penalty. And then it's even better because, like, instead of a penalty, you get a benefit. So you get a free hybrid after AncientGarurumon deletes itself, and then it just comes back. So it seems even better. It seems like a positive that it deletes itself. But if you couple it with Lament of Friendship, you are easily able to 2-turn kill your opponent. So that is the deck that I'm going to experiment on. I'm going to play it. I just wanted to give my opinions on what I think is a sleeper card from ST16. I don't think that people are giving this card enough attention. So this is what the card looks like from the leak. It's not very clear, but it wasn't like we didn't get really good images, but this is the card. And now I'm talking about ST16. I do think that ST16 has some really great cards in it. Even the level 6 undead Digimon seems pretty fun to use, especially for undead builds. So we got more undead support in purple. But yeah, ST16 was pretty good. It even had a pretty good removal card. It had this card, Baldy Blow, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. So that's pretty good. This Matt Ashina is a really good purple tamer. Like one of the probably the best purple memory setter so far. Or maybe not the best, but definitely one of the top 2. Starve your turn if you have 2 memory or less at your memory to 3. All turns when you trash a card in your hand of your effects by suspending this tamer, gain 1 memory. So basically, Demi-Merimon, when it's deleted, you get 1 memory. Not Pagumon. Labramons, when you play them, you get 1 memory. Eismon Scar Mode, when it's deleted, you get 1 memory. So basically, this is a really good tamer because a whole bunch of purple effects, trash a card in your hand. So this is really good. I am really digging BT14 and the Saradex. Like, even... Okay, I did want to talk about ModokiBetamon Ace, but I will come and circle back to that. Even this MagnaAncientGarurumon Ace is really good. So when you play it, or when you digivolve it, into it, I mean, if you have 5 or fewer security cards, recovery 1, and then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for each card in your security stack for the turn. So let's talk about Ace Digimon. So I honestly think that Ace Digimon are very good. And then basically, they're a hand counter or a hand trap that you are able to digivolve onto an appropriate Digimon during your opponent's turn when your opponent declares an attack on you. So they have a hefty drawback. But honestly, I don't think that's hefty at all. I think that it's a very minor drawback. So, for example, anytime they would leave the battle area, or if they would no longer be a source under a Digimon, or a source at all, from my understanding, then you would lose memory according to their overflow. So, for example, MagnaAncientGarurumon has overflow -3. So when this card is sent from battle area or under your cards to places other than battle area or under your cards, lose 3 memory. So if this were to digivolve into Ophanimon fall down mode, it's still under one of your cards, so you do not get the memory loss from overflow -3. However, when Ophanimon fall down mode is deleted, then since this is under Ophanimon fall down mode and then that leaves, then you would be -3. Or if this is under Ophanimon fall down mode and then you are Soride, for example, or if you are Sora and Jode, or anything that would remove it from the battle area at all, stripping sources, digivolve, being crashed into, being removed, like Chaos Degrade, like anytime it would leave the actual battle area, then you would lose 3 memory. But I don't think that that is a heavy drawback, because if these are hand traps and then they're just like defensive by nature, and then let's say you're about to lose the game, your opponent is swinging at you, you are now at 0 security, and then your opponent has 1 Digimon that they can swing with, or even 2 Digimon that they can swing with, and then you're like, okay, I'm about to lose, so you're going to blast Digivolve into MagnaAncientGarurumon, and then you recover 1, and then you delete your opponent's 1000 DP rookie, or whatever. But if you blast Digivolve when you're about to lose, and then your effect actually comes in clutch, and then it helps you to stay an extra turn, that is a really, really good... That is an insanely good positive for you to run Blast Digimon, or Ace Digimon. If the alternative to using them is losing the game versus staying in the game longer, and then there's like a threat of you losing like some memory when they are removed, that is a very, very minor penalty. Because if I'm able to stay in the game for a little bit longer, like a turn longer or 2 turns longer, that could drastically, that basically infinitely increases my chances to win. Because if I'm going to lose anyways, and I have a Blast Digimon in hand, or an Ace Digimon in hand, and then by Digivolving, I can either recover and then delete a Digimon, or suspend a Digimon, bounce a Digimon, or block a Digimon and then possibly block another Digimon as well, or even steal my opponent's turn from them or shorten their turn, then that is a very, very big pro to using Ace Digimon, that the drawback of possibly losing some memory later is a really moot drawback. Because if you're about to lose the game, and then these Digimon save you from losing the game, and then the only drawback to them is that you can possibly lose memory later, like that's a problem that you worry about after you save yourself from losing the game. Like these cards seem very good. If you're about to lose the game, it just makes sense that any other drawback is irrelevant. If they have a drawback like, oh, mill yourself to 2 remaining cards in your deck, or oh, when this Digimon leaves the battle area, lose 20 memory, or some other insanely hefty drawback, like even then it would still be worth it to run these Digimon, because if you can save yourself no matter what the drawback is, there is no possible worse alternative that these cards can give you aside from losing the game. Because like if you play them and then you save yourself from losing, then it just makes sense, like any drawback is not as heavy. So that's just my opinion on the Ace Digimon. Like, I know that people are saying, oh, but then my Gaia Force would only cost 8 when I use it on this, because I play it for 8, then it's deleted so my opponent loses 4 memory, so it basically costs 4 cost removal. I mean, yes, it does work that way, but the benefit for them to blast Digivolve, then save themselves for 1 turn, greatly outweighs everything else. Like, if they are about to get lethaled, if they are about to lose, like, anything else is irrelevant. Like, okay, you can remove their Digimon for really cheap, but that was the Digimon that saved them. Or, like, anything else. Like, the drawback to using these Digimon is so little. Because if you use them and you save yourself from losing, like, nothing else matters. So let's go back on topic. And I want to talk about ModokiBetamon Ace. So I do love the Ace Digimon. I really like MagnaAncientMon, but I will revisit him on a different day. But ModokiBetamon Ace is the Ace Digimon that I want to talk about today. So, Digivolve level 5 with Garurumon and name 3 cost. So immediately you see that you don't have to play ModokiBetamon Ace in a purple deck. You can use ModokiBetamon Ace in a blue deck or even a black deck. It's a hand counter, blast Digivolution. Your Digimon may Digivolve into this card without paying the cost when your opponent attacks you. When Digivolving by trashing up to 3 cards from your hand, gain 1 memory for each card trashed. When attacking once per turn by trashing 1 card from your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. So I can see of several ways for you to really benefit from this card. So this card is really meant for stealing your opponent's turn away from them. And there are some ways to capitalize on this effect. Now, if you play this in a mono purple deck, it's not as good as the other ways I'm thinking, but you can play a bunch of cards that either gain you memory when you trash them from your hand, or you draw a card when you trash them in your hand. So naturally, this card would just fit into that deck style. So when your opponent attacks you, even if they have a memory setter and then they get set to 3, and then they attack you and then you Digivolve into this, then you trash 3 cards from your hand, gaining 1 memory for each, so you gain 3 memory. And if one of the cards that you trash so happens to give you another memory, then after your opponent attack ends, then their turn also ends. And then you just steal their turn away from them. Well, technically, they still got to get in an attack, but they can't do anything else. But that's not really a good way to play using this card. I feel like that doesn't abuse this card's effect as much as it could versus blue decks or black decks in particular. So let's talk about my strategy for the blue deck. So blue deck, if you play this in a Garurumon blue deck, you are able to, before you preemptively are going to lose, you play Ice Wall, and then if your opponent attacks, then they're going to lose 2 memory. So if they have a memory setter, and then they go to 3, and then they attack, then they lose 2 memory to Ice Wall, and then you blast Digivolve it to ModokiBetamon Ace, and then you only need to trash 2 cards from your hand, and you gain 2 memory. So they go from 1 memory to 1 on your side, and you steal the turn from them that way. That is the blue strategy that I'm kind of thinking right now. But there is an even better black deck strategy that I have in mind. So the EX4 Garurumons, let's actually pull them up. So in EX4, we have a black line of Digimon. We have the Agumon black line, and we have the Gabumon black line. So you can play them. You can splash ModokiBetamon Ace into the EX4 deck. So just play Agumon and Gabumon and Garurumon and Greymon and ModokiBetamon and WereGarurumon like normal. And then you splash in the ModokiBetamon Ace. And then there's something strange with this, but let me explain. So if your opponent has a memory setter, then they go to 3, and then you Digivolve after they attack. You go into ModokiBetamon Ace. Let me just pull that card again. So when you trash up to 3 cards from your hand, gain 1 memory for each card trashed. So if they're at 3 and then you Digivolve, if you're playing in the black Agumon or Gabumon line, then when one of your other Digimon in play Digivolves, gain 1 memory. One of your other Digimon in play Digivolves, gain 1 memory. If you're playing these rookies, there's a fair chance. There's a pretty fair chance that when you blast Digivolve onto your WereGarurumon, then you are able to also you are also able to gain 1 memory. So on top of the 3 memory that you are able to gain from ModokiBetamon Ace's effect, you gain 1 more. So you push the memory gauge to your side, so you can steal your opponent's turn. But what I really like in particular about the black strategy is that there are several cards out there that make this strategy reliable. Like Laplace's Demon is insanely good. So let's say you play this in the X4 deck, and then you play Laplace's Demon. For 1 memory, one of your opponent's Digimon gains start of your main phase. This Digimon must attack until the end of your opponent's turn. So this card basically is the best for stealing your opponent's turn. So your opponent gets set to 3, and then all they can pretty much do is their raising phase. Do they want to hatch an egg? Do they want to push out their Digimon into the field? Those are their only 2 options. Well, technically they get unsuspend, they get draw, they get raising, but those are the only 3 phases that they can basically get. And then start of their main phase, they have to attack. They are not able to oh, Digivolve first, they aren't able to use their effects first. Like, unless they are effects that trigger or effects that are automatic, but they aren't able to just like play out their turn the way that they want. But start of their main phase, they must immediately attack you. Barring any other pending effects that aforementioned they are able to use. But basically, this forces them to just attack you right away. And then if you go into the ModokiBetamon Ace, and then if you're playing in the EX4 deck, and then or you are somehow able to just gain back 4 or more memory, then your opponent's turn is just over. That's all they can do. They are forced to attack you. As soon as they attack, their turn is just like over. So this is just really good for black decks if you are playing ModokiBetamon Ace. There is also that new black option. So this Digimon must attack. Huh. Okay, this is also a pretty good card to force your opponent to attack. Syakomons, if you want to play Syakomons. But there are other black options and other effects, not even including black, that force your opponent to attack you. This, I think, a Vice of Courage. No, it's not this. Okay, it's not this. It's Trident Arm. Digivolve 3, one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of your opponent's Digimon gains start of your main phase attack with this Digimon until the end of your opponent's turn, which is ironic because this is in the starter deck 15. But if you wanted to play this, you are also able to. But basically, any effects that force your opponent to attack at the start of their main phase is very good. Because if they are forced to attack you, basically when their turn starts, barring like the draw, unsuspend, raising, then they can't do anything else. So if you use this or any other option that steals that forces them to attack, then you blast Digivolve, and then you are able to gain back 1 memory at least. Like if you're playing the EX4 line, then you are going to basically steal their turn away from them, and that's kind of what I think right now. So I think that it can work pretty well with blue shenanigans, purple shenanigans, or black shenanigans, the ModokiBetamon Ace. So there was also someone who I saw on Facebook who had an opinion for how this card is also good. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so Weston Kramer on Facebook, ModokiBetamon Ace Thoughts. You're playing Melga X and your level 5 stack doesn't finish the job. Blast Evolve for free into Melga Ace, steal the turn back, swing with Melga Ace, X Antibody Evolve you into ModokiBetamon X for 1, bounce something, unsuspend, swing again, X Antibody evolves you into Omnimon X Antibody, bottom deck another Digimon, trashes security, lights out. So this is their plan. So they're going to play it in a blue Garurumon deck. If they aren't able to take the game, then you blast Digivolve, seal the turn, and then you just like get 1 swing in, unsuspend. Well, you swing and then you Digivolve into Melga X if you have X antibody. Then you unsuspend, and then because you Digivolved, and then you attack again, go into Omnimon X, and then you get to trash your opponent's security, and then you get the final swing. So it's basically getting rid of 3 security cards. So that is also a good strategy. But yes, I love ModokiBetamon Ace, but I just really love Lament of Friendship a lot more. I know that this video is just a bunch of my conspiracies for what I think is really good, but I'm going to mess around with this deck. I'm going to adjust some ratios, of course, and I think that Blue Hybrid which runs Lament of Friendship to go into AncientGarurumon, can be pretty deadly. I think that, of course, I need to adjust some ratios. I definitely... I'm kind of thinking about we have to stop fighting now. I don't know if it's actually good, because, again, I can just hybrid for game with my mini hybrids. So I'm not even sure if I need we have to stop fighting. So I might actually not run this at all, but it could be something to experiment with. But I probably want some blue memory boosts so that I can just search for AncientGarurumon more easily, or searching for the promo Lobomon more easily, or even just getting the pop of 2 memory will let me hybrid for game more easily, in case my plan fails. So I just need to play like 2 hybrids or 3 hybrids for game. So, there are some things I can tinker with here, but basically I'm going to play a bunch of rookies. Maybe not 12, but maybe some... Wait. Yeah, maybe not like 12 of these level 3 hybrids, maybe like 10 and like 4 Bokomon, then maybe like 12 of these level 4 hybrids, and then 4 of these, definitely. I want some Matashitas in there. I want Lament of Friendship back for revenge, so I need purple sources. Again, this doesn't have to be Matashita, it can be any purple tamer you want. But yes, this is probably the best Matashita for the deck. But yes, there are different ways that you can build the deck, but I think that the main components of this deck are having a bunch of level 3 hybrids, having some level 4 hybrids so then you can hybrid for game, having the promo Lobomon so then you can warp into AncientGarurumon for when you are able to pull off the combo. AncientGarurumon, of course, to pull off the combo. Then Lament of Friendship or Back for Revenge. Either of these will work. So then when you are able to assemble the pieces that you need, AncientGarurumon swings, unsuspends, swings, and then you play one of these options. So then your turn ends, this Digimon's deleted, you play a hybrid, you bring this Digimon back, and then next turn you swing again, and like you get the game. So I think that this is pretty lethal. This seems fun, it gives me joy. So I'm going to experiment with this build, and once I actually make this deck, once starter deck 16 comes out, I will definitely promise to provide you an update for how I'm playing this deck and what I ended up doing. Because, of course, I did not make this as an actual deck. I just want to kind of like map my ideas out so then it's easier to follow along. But, of course, I threw this together in like 2 minutes. I'm going to have to definitely tinker with this. Like, again, I don't think that we have to stop fighting is actually good. It might be good, but I'll actually see once I test it out. But I think blue memory boost is so much more useful. But yes, I just want to give my first thoughts on Starter Deck 15, 16. Mostly Starter Deck 16. I didn't really touch on Starter Deck 15 yet. But I think that these are awesome Starter Decks. I'm very excited for them. Like, honestly, I'm more excited for them than I am for the Beelzemon Advanced deck. Like, I love the Switch cards in the Beelzemon deck, but I also really, really love Lament of Friendship. I love the Ace Melgarurumon. So, these are just my initial thoughts. I think that's pretty fun, but thanks for listening in. I just wanted to share my opinions on what I think is a really good sleeper card from Starter Deck 16. What I like, probably Melgarurumon Ace is good. I like how it can steal turns. If you play it and then you force your opponent to attack you at the start of their turn, at the start of their main phase, then you basically just steal any actions that they can do aside from their choice of what to do in raising. Um, but yeah, I think that it's good. You can steal turn. Basically, it's like a take 2 turns kind of effect. But this is like as close as we are going to get to a time walk in Digimon. I think it's time walk. It's been so long. But yeah, this is like as close as we can get to a card that lets you take 2 turns in a row. So it's like, okay, it's nice. It seems fun for you to use. Probably not fun for your opponent, but they will look at you in awe as you pull off this magnificent combo. But honestly, I love this blue hybrid idea that uses Lament of Friendship. So I will experiment with this once the Star decks come out. But yes, AncientGarurumon is very cheap right now. Regular art copies are like $5 on TCG. Alternate arts are just like around $10, a little above 10, like 11-ish. But yes, they are insanely cheap. I just picked up 4 copies. I didn't pick up too much because I don't really have a reason to pick up more. But yeah, if you want to get yourself some copies of AncientGarurumon so you can test out this deck idea, it is going to be very fun. I also got the promo Lobomons from Premium Bandai, so I am so excited for this deck. So excited. I definitely need to pick up these box topper Matshitas. It says $9. They're not $9. They're like $1.50, $2.50. They're like $2.50 right now. So you should pick them up before people see Lament of Friendship. Like they are like, oh my god, will this actually work? Like the Lament of Friendship idea works the best with this Matashita because this Matashita is a memory setter and it's a blue tamer. So if that plan fails, you are still able to hybrid for game. So this is probably the best memory setter for the deck. So if people see Lament of Friendship and then they look at it, and then they look at AncientGarurumon, and then they look at Promo Lobomon, and then they realize that it works very well, then this card might actually spike. This card might actually spike. This card might actually spike too. So if the deck works better than I think that it does, then this will rise from an $11 alternate art card to more like a $25 alternate art card if the deck sees more play. But this is, again, just me speculating, me just throwing out conspiracies for what I think is a good deck. But I don't know if it's good or not, but it seems very fun. The idea of pushing out a rookie, going into a champion, and then again, I say rookies and champions in air quotes because they aren't, but like pushing out a rookie, pushing out a champion, warping it into an ultimate or a mega, and then swinging, unsuspend, swing again, delete, play a hybrid, play back the mega, and the next turn get 4 checks in, possibly 5, but like 4 checks in. So it's like, it seems really, really fun. It's like a 2-turn kill. And I'm just very happy at how explosive this actually can be. I say this, but, it might not be as reliable as I think it is. Which is why I'll adjust this deck. I'll put in some backups for if the plan fails. If I play this deck, it's not really consistent, then I will come up with a backup win con for the deck as I tinker around with it. But yes, the idea of just going into AncientGarurumon turn 2, then turn 2, and then on your third turn you finish the job. It seems really, really good. But yes, thank you for watching this video. It's just a bunch of conspiracies at the moment, but eventually this will turn into an actual deck. I have the premium Bandai Pokemons. I'm very happy. Or like I'm about to get them, I mean. I have the premium Bandai Lobomons. I just need to grab these box topper Matashitas before people see. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to sell. I'm going to, like, I need to grab them while I can, while they're still cheap. So, yes. I will see you all later, and I will post a part 2 to this deck in the very, very, very far future for after we get Stardeck 16. So it will be very, very far away, but I will definitely post a part 2 after I build the deck, test the deck out, adjust the deck, and then finalize the deck. Or come to a deck that's good enough for me to show on YouTube. But yes, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.